Hey there, welcome back. Today, we're kind of putting on our detective hats.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we're
I-
diving deep into the world of government impersonation scams.
Ooh, sneaky.
Right, we've got all your notes and articles right here, ready to break it all down for you.
Awesome.
So think of this as like building your own personal scam busting toolkit.
You're gonna need it, seriously.
Right.
These scams are getting so sophisticated these days.
Yeah.
They're playing on people's trust in, authority figures.
Oh, for sure.
It can have just devastating effects.
It's not just about the financial loss,
Right.
right? It's the emotional toll
Yes.
and then just the erosion of trust in legitimate government agencies.
Absolutely.
It's scary how effective these things can be.
It really is.
So for our listeners who might be newer to this, let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What exactly is a government impersonation scam?
Simply put, it's when somebody pretends to be a government official
Oh, yeah.
to trick people into giving them money or personal information.
Okay.
Could be IRS, Social Security, you name it.
It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. They put on this official sounding facade
It's to gain your trust.
to gain your trust, and then bam.
And then bam, they get you right where it hurts.
Yeah.
They're masters at using fear and urgency
Yeah.
to cloud people's judgment. They might threaten arrest or legal action, even deportation, if you don't comply immediately.
Okay, so red flag number one.
Yeah.
If anyone is aggressively demanding immediate action over the phone,
Right.
they are probably not who they say they are.
Exactly.
But let's get into specifics.
Okay.
Our research mentioned some pretty common types, like IRS and Social Security scams. Could you kind of walk us through those?
Absolutely. Let's start with the IRS scam.
Okay.
A classic, it's still making the rounds. Picture this. You get a call out of the blue from someone claiming to be an IRS agent. They are aggressive, demanding immediate payment for back taxes you supposedly owe.
Oh, I can feel my anxiety spiking just hearing you describe it.
Right. And they even threaten arrest if you don't pay up right this second.
Wow.
And here's the kicker.
Okay.
They often demand payment through unconventional, untraceable methods,
Okay.
like gift cards or wire transfers.
Gift cards.
Think about it.
Really?
If a real government agency is collecting a debt,
Right.
they're not going to tell you to run to the nearest CVS and buy a stack of iTunes gift cards.
You're so right.
Right?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It seems so obvious when you put it like that.
Right.
But in the heat of the moment,
Yeah.
with someone yelling at you about jail time,
You're right.
I could see how people would panic and not think straight.
Exactly. That's why these scammers are so successful.
Mm-hmm.
They prey on our emotions,
Yeah.
leaving us vulnerable to their manipulation.
So gift cards are a huge warning sign.
Huge red flag.
Okay, what about the Social Security scam? How does that one usually play out?
So in this scenario, the scammer might claim your Social Security number has been compromised
Oh, no.
or linked to some criminal activity.
Ugh.
They might even say your benefits are about to be suspended unless you verify your information
Oh, wow.
by giving them sensitive data.
I bet that would send anyone into a tailspin.
Yeah.
Especially seniors who rely on those benefits.
Unfortunately, yes. And much like the IRS scam,
Right.
the real Social Security Administration would never call you out of the blue
Oh.
and demand personal information over the phone.
Okay, so unsolicited calls, demanding information over the phone.
Yes.
Big red flag.
Big red flag.
Are there any other telltale signs our listeners should watch out for?
Oh, there are quite a few.
Okay.
Another common tactic is creating a sense of urgency,
Okay.
like claiming that your benefits are about to be cut off or that a warrant has been issued for your arrest.
But wouldn't a real government agency call about an urgent matter?
They might, but they would never demand immediate payment over the phone
Okay.
or use threats and scare tactics to pressure you.
Okay.
A legitimate government agency would send you an official letter
Right.
and provide clear instructions on how to address the issue.
So it's all about that pressure.
Yes.
That sense of you need to act NW or else.
Exactly.
And I guess that makes sense because if they give you time to think,
Right.
you might start to see through the cracks in their story.
Precisely. They want to keep you off balance, prevent you from taking a step back and thinking critically.
So those are the IRS and Social Security scams, two of the most common.
Yeah.
But we know these scammers are always coming up with new tricks.
Oh, absolutely.
What other schemes should our listeners be aware of?
You're absolutely right. While the IRS and Social Security scams are super widespread,
Yeah.
they're really just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, wow.
We're seeing a surge in scams impersonating all kinds of officials,
Right.
law enforcement, immigration officials. Oh, wow.
Even Medicare representatives.
It's like they're tapping into all of our collective anxieties. Like I remember reading about those police impersonation scams
Oh, yeah.
where they'll convince people that they have an outstanding warrant
Mm-hmm.
or that a loved one needs bail money.
Yes, those are particularly insidious.
Yeah.
Because they exploit that fear of legal repercussions.
Totally.
Imagine receiving a call from someone claiming to be a police officer,
Oh, my gosh.
saying there's a warrant out for your arrest unless you pay a fine.
Oh, that would be terrifying.
Right.
Yeah, especially in today's climate where trust in law enforcement can be kind of fragile.
Absolutely.
These scams can really exploit those vulnerabilities.
Yeah, and they're becoming increasingly sophisticated.
Really?
Yes, scammers are actually using technology to their advantage.
In what way?
Well, they're spoofing phone numbers to make it look like a call is genuinely coming from, a police department or a government agency.
Wow, that is really devious.
It is. I can see how even a cautious person could fall for that.
Yeah.
Are there any ways to tell if a number is spoofed?
Unfortunately, it can be really difficult to detect.
Oh, no.
So that's why it's crucial to remember you should never give out personal information.
Right? Yeah.
Or make a payment over the phone
Yeah.
unless you initiated the contact
Okay.
and are absolutely certain that you are talking to a legitimate representative.
Okay, so trust your gut,
Yeah.
but verify everything.
Yes.
If there's even like a sliver of doubt.
Hang up. Hang up.
Find the official contact information for the agency.
Yeah.
Reach out directly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Well, yeah.
Talked about the red flags, the different types of scams, and the importance of verifying.
Yeah.
But let's say, despite all of our best efforts, the worst happens.
Okay.
And someone falls victim to one of these scams. What should they do?
First and foremost, it's important to remember they're not alone.
Right.
These scammers are incredibly convincing.
It can happen to anyone. The most important thing is to take immediate action.
Okay, so what are like the first steps?
First, stop all communication with the scammer.
Okay.
Hang up the phone, delete the emails,
Okay.
don't click on any links.
I got it. Cut off contact.
Yes.
What then?
Then report the scam
To.
to the appropriate authorities.
Okay.
This includes the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, the agency that the scammer impersonated,
Okay.
and your local law enforcement if you believe you've been the victim of a crime.
So having that verified contact info is so crucial for reporting.
It is, absolutely. And by reporting these scams, you're not only protecting yourself,
Right.
but you're also helping authorities track down these criminals
Oh, okay.
and potentially prevent others from becoming victims.
So what about damage control?
Okay.
Are there things people can do to like protect themselves after the fact?
Yes, definitely.
Especially if they shared personal or financial information?
It's important to monitor your bank accounts, credit card statements, and any other financial accounts for suspicious activity.
So basically, be extra vigilant for any unauthorized transactions.
Right.
Or anything out of the ordinary.
Exactly. If you notice anything suspicious, report to your bank
Okay.
or financial institution immediately.
What about identity theft?
Okay.
That seems like a huge concern if someone had shared, their social security number
Yes.
or other sensitive info.
It is a valid concern.
Yeah.
If you're worried about identity theft, you can contact the credit bureaus,
Okay.
Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and place a fraud alert on your credit report.
Okay.
This will make it harder for someone to open new accounts in your name.
Okay. That makes sense. So a fraud alert is like putting a shield around your credit
Yes.
to make it harder for scammers to use your information.
Exactly.
But I also remember reading about something called a credit freeze.
Yes.
Is that the same thing?
A credit freeze is even more robust.
Okay.
It completely restricts access to your credit report. Wow.
Making it virtually impossible for anyone to open new accounts in your name,
Okay.
even for legitimate purposes.
Okay.
You would need to lift the freeze temporarily if you needed to apply for credit yourself.
Okay, so a fraud alert is like a temporary shield,
Yes.
and a credit freeze is like putting your credit into lockdown.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Both are valuable tools in protecting yourself from identity theft.
So basically, if you've been targeted, you need to
Shut it down.
shut it down,
Report it.
report it,
And protect
your finances and your identity.
Exactly. Be proactive.
Proactive.
Take those steps
Yeah.
to mitigate any damage.
We've covered so much today,
We have.
from recognizing those telltale signs of a scam
Right.
to the actions to take if you've been targeted. This has been a real eye-opener for me, and I bet for our listeners, too.
I think so.
What's
Yeah.
one key takeaway that you hope everyone listening will remember?
Knowledge is your best defense. I think that's the most important thing.
Oh, for sure. The more you understand about these scams, the less likely you are to fall victim.
Yeah.
Stay informed, be skeptical, trust your instincts.
Yeah.
If something feels off, it probably is.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Don't let fear or pressure cloud your judgment.
Right.
Take a moment to think things through.
Exactly.
And don't hesitate to reach out to like a trusted friend or family member if you're unsure about something.
Absolutely. It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
It's better to err on the side of caution than to become a victim of one of these very sophisticated scams.
So for our listeners diligently taking notes, building their scam-busting toolkit throughout this whole episode,
Yeah.
what's one thing they can do differently now to protect themselves or someone they know?
I'd say share this information with others.
Oh, good idea.
Talk to your family and friends, especially those who might be more vulnerable to these tactics.
Right.
Like seniors or people who are less familiar with technology. Sometimes just having those conversations and raising awareness can make all the difference.
Totally.
Yeah.
We can all play a part in creating a more informed and scam-resistant community.
Exactly. It's like a neighborhood watch.
Right.
But for the digital age.
I love that. Well, I feel like we've really empowered our listeners today
I hope so.
with the knowledge to spot these scams and protect themselves.
Me too.
Government impersonation scams are out there. They're getting more sophisticated, but they don't have to win.
No, they don't.
Stay informed, be cautious, and don't be afraid to question anything that seems suspicious.
Absolutely.
And hey, if you ever get a call from someone claiming to be the IRS,
Oh, God.
demanding payment in iTunes gift cards,
Right.
at least you'll know it's a scam.
You will.
And you'll have a pretty wild story to tell.
You will.
All right. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of government impersonation scams.
Thanks for having me.
Stay safe out there.
Until next time.